everybody. Very exciting this week. It's finally the big Avengers Infinity War from Marvel. So exciting. I love the Marvel movies. There really haven't been any that I've hated. I was pretty disappointed in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And Iron Man 2 isn't my favorite. Iron Man 3 isn't my favorite. But so there's some I'm not super high, but all of them I think are watchable. They're all fine. And most of them I think are actually quite great, and I really enjoy them. So, so I'm really excited for Infinity War. And I thought it would be fun to kind of go through the cast and give you my predictions of what I think is going to happen, my concerns, my things I'm most looking forward to. So, okay, so I'm going to start with my concerns. My biggest concern going into Infinity War is that it's going to be cluttered and it's going to just be too much. There's going to be too many stories. There's going to be too much going on. There's so many characters that are involved here that we love and that we respect. And I don't want, especially if a character dies, for it to feel like that character that we love has gotten shortchanged in their big dramatic death because of all these characters and all these plotlines that are going through. Like I loved Thor Ragnarok, but the way that so many of the characters in the original Thor movies were just killed was kind of a bummer. That they just get absolutely no respect at all. And at least those were somewhat minor characters. So if it was to happen to Tony Stark or something like that, that would really suck. So that's a concern. My other concern is Thanos, because he's been built up so much and he's so powerful. That could be interesting or it could be super boring. And from what I understand in the comics, I feel like Apocalypse and Thanos are somewhat similar in their powers. Hated Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse. I thought that he was so boring. He was so it was like Transformers to me. I just didn't like it. And other people liked it. Good for you. I did not. And so if Thanos is like Apocalypse and just this then I will be really annoyed. I'm not a person who normally complains about villains, but I do complain about them when they irritate me and when they're kind of annoying to me. So I hope that's not the case with Thanos. So those are my two big concerns going into this. Okay, so let's talk about the things I'm really excited for. I'm actually really excited to see some of these worlds connect and some of these characters connect that we haven't really seen a whole lot of. It's gonna be really fun to see all of the Black Panther characters that we've just gotten to meet, to get to maybe see them a little bit more. It's gonna be really fun to see the Guardians characters interact with the Avengers characters. That I'm very much looking forward to. I think that Star-Lord and Thor could be really funny together, and I hope that they play off of those two actors, because I feel like Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth could be really, really funny and good together. And I'm excited to see all of these female characters together. You have Scarlet Witch, you have Black Widow, you have all the women in Black Panther, and you have the Wasp character, Evangeline Lilly's character, I forget her name. You have all these different female characters that are all going to be together, and that should be really fun. And I'm sure that I hope that they will monopolize on that and really make them a forefront and make them fun characters in the story. And I'm really looking forward to just the banter, and some of the action sequences should be really fun. Marvel always does a great job with that. And so I'm sure it'll be a very entertaining film. And so those are my concerns and the things I'm looking forward to. I'm going to go through the characters and give you a percentage that I think that are likely to live or die or whatever in this movie, because we know there's going to be some loss, and there probably won't be as much as we might think or might make for an epic movie, because it's Marvel and nobody's really dead in Marvel. But I do think we're going to lose a couple characters in this, and I'm going to give you my percentages of what I think. First of all, I don't think any of the Black Panther characters are going anywhere, so I'm not going to include them. They haven't even made. There's going to be a Black Panther 2. I think they're all safe. I think that Doctor Strange is safe. I think that Ant-Man and the Wasp are both safe, because we know those movies are still coming out. And I think that all of the Guardians characters are safe, because there's still Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think the biggest potential to be eliminated are characters that are either in either of the 3 trilogies that are sort of finished. Your Thor, your Captain America, and your Iron Man. And I guess you could say Avengers as well. So, and Spider-Man is obviously safe, because we know it's going to be Spider-Man 2. So there you go. So here we go. So here's some that I think. I think that Scarlet Witch has a very small percentage of chance that she will die. I'll say like 20% with Scarlet Witch, because she's a female character. They don't have that many female characters. I would be really surprised if they got rid of Scarlet Witch. We have Black Widow. There's been talk about a Black Widow movie. I just don't think that they're going to kill off either Scarlet Witch or Black Widow. So I think she is safe. I'd say 20% chance. We have Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, or Captain America. I think Captain America has a high chance. He's not my number one person that I think is going to be out, but I would say that there's maybe an 80% chance that Captain America dies in this movie. So, his trilogy is finished. It would be kind of poetic for him to sacrifice after what happened in Civil War. And I don't know, I could just see it. Have Thor. And I think that just because his trilogy is done, I could see it, but I think it's the least likely just because I don't feel like Chris Hemsworth has been able to have like any other successful franchises. So I don't feel like he's maybe itching to leave, and it's probably not as expensive as the other two of these big three. And I don't know. I would be surprised if it's Thor, but I'm going to say there's a 60% chance that Thor is gone. Then we have Bucky Barnes. I think that there's very little chance that Bucky is going anywhere by Sebastian Stan. I think I'd give like a 30% chance that Bucky is dead. Okay, here's the big one. Tony Stark, Iron Man. I think there's a 90% chance that Tony Stark is going to be gone. You see the happiness that he was leaving Spider-Man Homecoming in. He's going to get married. It's just like totally perfect, like kind of poetic timing for him to like end on this really happy place in his life. And because you don't want to kill a character, a hero, in this like toxic place with having panic attacks and stuff. Like that would be weird. And so I think that I think he is definitely my number one candidate for doing something in this that will be heroic, that will be a great way for the character to kind of go out. And so yeah, there we go. That's my number one pick. Okay, then we have Loki. I think there's a small chance we could see Loki in like sort of his final sort of redemption of like becoming a good person and then doing something heroic and sacrificing whatever. And so I think that there's like, I'm going to say like I think there's a little more chance that Loki could die than Thor. So I'm going to say 70% chance of losing Loki, which will be so devastating. But I love Loki. Strange is safe. I guess Heimdall is in this. There could be some side characters that we could see them sacrifice. Heimdall is certainly a possibility. They could these characters that we're not that invested in, and I doubt Idris Elba is like super anxious to still be in Marvel movies. So yeah, he'd probably have like 75% chance. I think that Hawkeye has a pretty high chance that he could possibly be out. So I'm going to say that there's a 75% chance that we could lose Hawkeye. We kind of left him in Avengers Age of Ultron. He's in Civil War, but not very much. And we kind of left him in this happy spot. Again, kind of makes him a high target. So yeah, 75% chance, I'm going to say, for Hawkeye. Then we have Vision, I think. We know that he loses the Infinity Stone in his head, and that I don't know what that does to him. And so I think he's actually pretty high. I'm going to say that there's an 85% chance that Vision is gone by the end of this. Okay, then we have all of the Iron Man characters. I could see we losing a Happy Hogan. We could lose Pepper. There is, I think that the chance of losing Hulk is very small. I know, I just don't feel it. I'd be surprised. Because he's just sort of the side character, and I don't know. I would be surprised if we lose Hulk unless Mark Ruffalo is anxious to sort of be done with the character, which I didn't get that feeling. So I'm going to say there's a 40% chance of losing Hulk. Then we have Falcon, I think, could be Carnage. I think both Falcon and Rhodey have about I would say both of those have about a 50% chance that they could be gone. I could see out of the Doctor Strange people, I could maybe see Wong doing something and sacrificing, doing some heroic, because they might want to bring in some like multiculturalism and have like heroic arc for his character. I guess that's possible. So I'm going to say 40% chance of Wong dying. I think I covered pretty much everything else. Like I said, I think all of the Guardians characters are safe. I think all of the Black Panther characters are safe. I think all of the Ant-Man characters are safe. We know that they have more movies coming up. So there you go. That's my predictions. I think the only character of Guardians that I could see possibly getting killed is, I guess the Collector is in the movie, so he could die, but we don't really care about it. So I would say there's a 75% chance the Collector dies, but then also I think possibly I could see Nebula dying. That would be like I don't know, I could see like a 45% chance of Nebula dying. And I think I covered pretty much everybody else. You have Linda Cardellini is back as Hawkeye's wife. That makes me even more think that it could be Hawkeye if his wife is there, and there'd be some tender moments between them before he dies. So yeah, 75% chance for Hawkeye. And so that's basically everybody, I think, that I covered. So and this Peter Dinklage character, he could definitely die because he could just be a one-off kind of thing for sure. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. So that is the characters for Avengers Infinity War. Let me know what your percentage is. What are you most nervous about? What are you most excited about? Put in the comment section and let's talk about it. It'll be really fun. And are you guys, I'm excited I'll have the review probably on Friday, and Trevor are definitely going to be getting together and doing a podcast that we do after all the superhero movies. And so look forward to that. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you haven't listened to our superhero podcasts, then definitely check that out. I think that they're really good. And so I'll put a link down if you want to check those out. So anyway, let me know what you think. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.